All right, so Sandra
Alex.
and Liz here. All right, so we're going to start with Liz. So what did you and your team do today?
So today, me and my team talked a little bit more about the pitch, and we also worked for a good amount of time on the presentation for the pitch, which we're going to upload later on today or early tomorrow morning after everybody has given their feedback on it.
I feel like a seagull.
And I mean, other than that, we each worked on our own tasks.
Cool. What has been the hardest part of this week for you?
For me, the hardest part of this week has been the fact that we're having a hard time getting a lot of subscribers or potential customers because we're only up to 42 subscribers and we've had the website up for a couple of days now. I've tried to reach out to many different groups and it just seems like nothing's helping. I think the reason why this is happening though is that our website isn't very developed yet. I mean, I had this conversation with a developer today and there are definitely a lot of changes that he would like to make, but at the same time, we feel like there's not enough time to focus on that this week, so we're going to continue focusing on making our pitch as strong as we can.
Cool. I think my team we haven't even had a page going, so we don't have one customer validated saying that they use our stuff. And today, after we pitched, Laundry reminded us that we need to have something, and I was like, no wonder I've seen all these people have these Facebook pages and stuff, and so I need to work on that today. And then, my team doesn't have a product or anything to show, so it's just gonna have to be this description, and hopefully get some likes.
Well, it's okay because when I talked to Mike, one of the mentors, because Chris has abandoned us, so we had to take on a new mentor. Mike's really nice, though. Anyway, Mike said that you don't actually need a product, you're not going to be doing a demo, that was really for last week. And this week it's more the business behind it and idea and concept rather than actual thing, so I think it should be okay.
Yeah. So I feel like the same way, I think the demo and stuff was for last week, if, to be able to pitch on that Friday, but at this point, I don't think, that doesn't really matter anymore. What matters now is, as long as you guys have, a solid business model and stuff like that, you guys should be.
But that was brought up to our attention again today, that we should have our 1,000 likes, whatever,
well,
customers.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's going to be, you guys are going to have a harder time tracking how many people are saying they would use your product just because you don't have anywhere for them to subscribe or.
Right.
So I guess you guys will have to be creative on how to do that.
So how does everybody feel their team is doing?
Great. Now that I'm running it, they're all whipped into shape. / terrified because I keep threatening them with violence.
I feel like my team is doing well. We've been working really good together up until now. I think we just the thing we see as the most important thing for this week are the customers and the pitch. And because as of today we kind of all got discouraged about the customers, now we're probably going to just focus more on the pitch. And for that, all we need is just practice. So
that's cool. I feel I don't know why our cohort or our team found out today that we're pitching. Was it supposed to be? Has your team pitched today? Or are they pitching tomorrow?
No, we didn't know what was going on. We were in the classroom, and then all of a sudden we hear clapping and stuff from the auditorium. We're like, what is happening? Is there a lecture going on? And then you were like, oh no, our team's pitching right now in the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay, that's what that is. So we thought there was a lecture happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my team wasn't getting communication, or no, but actually one of the things that happened that I just need to vent and get out, and it happened like yesterday or the day before, was Marcus went off and got us like a room like next to the EIA like staff mentor, office in the startup garage, and so he got all excited because we at least had like a quiet room, and we all went in there, and he was like, "It's our board room, blah blah blah." Okay, so we're all stuck in this room, and yesterday we freaking missed when like stuff was going on in the startup garage. Like laundry came by, probably to tell us and prepare us and tell us, "You pitches tomorrow. You guys should have this, this, and this done." And we missed it completely because
Wait,
we
this
were
was like your
upstairs.
actual pitch today?
Yeah,
What do you mean? I thought this was practice.
it was a practice one, but from this they're choosing three teams from the travel cohort to move on.
That's just the way her mentors are going about doing it.
Yeah, each cohort's doing it differently, and we missed that information yesterday, probably because we were not down in the
Because
startup
we were in the
garage
board room.
because we were in our freaking make-believe board
Oh
room.
my god.
It's so frustrating. And so today I was like, can we please go back like down there? We're missing out on stuff. And I don't know what happened. We still didn't move because they were just like loving their little space. So yeah, it's frustration.
Actually, Laundre was in was in the classroom that we were in, and he was helping the. Oh my God! Actually, the Amadeus group. So they like came to us, and they had like their kind of like a little bit of like a description or like tagline thing, and they're like, "Do you understand what we do?" And then we all like said different answers for like what we understood the idea to be like after reading it, and I thought that's actually a really good idea because like. We were all wrong, like like what their idea was. And then when they started saying like, no, it's like this, and we're like, why don't you just write that? Like, why? What you literally just said, like, it's perfect and like so easy to understand, but that is not like easy to understand at all. That was a really good idea.
Yeah. That's kind of what me and my team were thinking about doing with the pitch. We thought we would go around and maybe try to, pitch it to people that are in the startup room, or maybe the mentors and stuff like that, just so that we can see if we're actually saying what we think we're saying, like if that's the way it's coming off.
That would have been great for us to do, but every time we tried to pitch it to someone, it would be like this really long like session of, explaining like a drawing or something that someone had come up with for our idea.
When you guys practiced, did you guys set like a timer?
We did towards the end, but really we had like 30 minutes to like just put everything on paper, because up until now it's been like just kind of again trying to figure out who our customer is, because I don't know if I told you earlier, we have 2 different customers, so that's where we kept getting stuck.
I think you guys should just try to make it as structured as possible, because you know how you said today they decided to throw like a 30-second intro in there.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking to one of the mentors yesterday, and they're like, no, because for our pitch on Friday we also had a intro that was maybe like under 20 seconds or something like that, and they said that no, that's way too long.
Well, we had an intro already, and like it was an intro that they added to the intro that I had made that I thought was really short and just get to the point. So they added this intro, and I was like, fine, let them like have a moment where they do the intro so they can get over it. And then the freaking intro got another intro like when they got to presenting, and I was like, what in the world is happening? And the guy like, one of the judges or the commentator caught on, and he was like, okay, he's like, intro over, let's go. I was like, okay, great. I just find that it's hard to address the problem afterwards as well with the team. And okay, I'm sorry, but for me, because you've seen that like I speak up like when things go wrong, like in my regular day life, like when things are out of not what I expected. I don't know why, like in the team I don't. Like I do only at the last minute, and I'm like, okay, I gotta fix this, I'm gonna fix it now. But then like after I have that moment of like action, I let like everyone else kind of like take on. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know what's going on with me, and it's making me feel kind of weird because I know that I can kind of lead, but I don't know why after I lead for a second, I like step back. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure if this is it, but to me it sounds probably like you don't want to upset your team. You don't want to feel like, like you're telling them like, oh, do it my way because I'm the
Well,
one
it's
who's
also,
doing
I
it
think
right.
it's also different because you don't want them to be like, okay, well then why don't you pitch or something like that, and then
Well,
you would.
They did that when I told you when Laundry came in, and I was like, I'm just gonna freaking write this out because we're taking too long. And then I was like, can I just tell you guys what I think it should be? So I did, and then they're like, one of the girls was like, okay, so do you want to pitch it? And I was like, yeah, I totally will, even though it scares the shit out of me. I was like, I felt like I just need to take matters into my own hand.
Yeah.
And then on the side, we have Marcus going around like fucking practicing this intro like over and over. Like he's just like such a happy-go-lucky dude, like having a blast. And I felt like I was gonna break his heart by being like, no,
No.
we need a clear English speaker that's gonna just say this
Yeah.
fast.
Okay, that's so hard to say. Like
It's
because
so hard to
fucking
say
Zoltat,
that.
like okay, I couldn't tell him. So it was between him and like, I guess me basically to like say it, and so literally like they were listing off like pros and cons between us, and I was like, how about the fact that no one can understand what the fuck he's saying? Like, how about con number one? It's like, who cares? Like, all of the pros if you don't even know what he's saying.
Yeah, I couldn't tell him.
You can't tell people that.
And
Like,
I
you
feel like
can't
an idiot and
understand
an
them.
asshole for not being able to say that.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
I failed in not being like, okay, guys.
I think that you should tell him, like, maybe tomorrow, though. Like, because there's not that much time left to practice.
Right.
And if he's not the right person for it, then,
But
you
the
know,
problem
you should.
is, like, I did tell the other girls, kind of in a nice way. I was like, okay, so I'm like, I don't want him to take too long, I guess maybe I didn't say it, like, it's hard to understand him. Because then I feel like I'm saying, like, I can do it better, and then I feel like
But
if I
that's
go
what
do
it comes down
it,
to, though. Like, you can do it better.
no, but what if I go up there? This is my fear. If
Yeah,
I go
yeah.
up there and fuck it up, because I also get like stage fright. It's like my stage fright versus his lack of being able to
English.
understand him. I'm like, we're screwed both ways. So I don't know.
I mean, like, for our team, I think that's also going to be, like, the deciding thing. So there was 2 guys who pitched last week, and, I mean, they both did well, and I feel like they both have, like, like how you said, pros and cons. But I'm leaning more towards one of the guys, and it's because of the other one. Yeah, I feel like his voice is lower, and he has an accent, and
Yeah.
I feel like, we should go with the guy who speaks more clearly, and I feel
Yeah.
like he kind of has, like, more presence. Like,
Right.
when he's on.
Yeah, it's tough. I kind of wish that the other people from the Dolenes and CIB, like, were present for, like, the week before. Like, kind of what we got a little prep about, like, pitching and talking to people, like, that stuff. Because I felt like I had information that, like, they didn't about, like, picking the best person for the delivery or splitting up the work, the whole team, how do you figure out dynamics? Because, like, I had this info, but I'm not going to be like, okay, so we got this info, so let me tell you guys how we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what we were supposed to do, though.
Yeah,
But,
it's
I mean,
hard.
It would still be better if everybody was on the same page at the beginning of the program, but
Right.
yeah, because
That
I've
was-
definitely felt like that too. Sometimes where somebody will say something and I'm kind of like, oh well, I already knew this like a long time ago.
Yes, oh my god. And wait, were you all the only Berkeley person?
Do you have another Berkeley person?
No, I have another Berkeley person.
So for me it's difficult
Who's your
because
other Berkeley person?
AJ.
Oh.
okay. For me, I'm sorry, it's
You were not even
difficult.
here for the first week.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he
so
wasn't
he's-
here.
Who's AJ?
Yeah, that's exactly. He wasn't here for the first
He
week.
got here until like Sunday, so
Oh.
he missed the first 3 days.
He got here when Shanti got here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, one last thing. It's difficult because teammates, at least for me, are in a completely other campus, and like I try to hit them up, and I'm like, I don't get a response, so I'm just like
Sad
sitting there. Yeah. Anyways, and right.
Yeah, that's good. Bye. I always say bye and like.